welcome to State of RB. I'm your host, Mason Walensky, joined by, as always, Dr. Freitas. How are we doing today, Doc?
Doing well. And you, Mason?
I'm doing great, thank you. So we're kind of wrapping up the school year here, as we know. What do we have? We have three more weeks.
Three more weeks. Yeah, 15 or so school days.
Yeah, because it's, 2 of AP, 1 of finals, and then that's it,
And then
right?
that's it.
Yeah, and then it's graduation,
and
which
then
is crazy.
Then it's graduation, Mason.
Yeah. So, just kind of, that's crazy. But so this will be our final episode here, actually. So this will be kind of like a reflection.
Everything gotta end. The final one.
This will be. Yeah, you can come back next year. Yeah, but just kind of as we reflect on the school year, like, what are you most proud of within the RB community?
What I'm the most proud of is us being there for one another. And what I mean by us, our stakeholders, teachers, administrators, staff, security, cafeteria, students, parents, anyone that works here, right? We show up for each other's events. We have each other's backs. We rally around our mission set forth by our Board of Education. We're good to each other. We're kind to each other. And if we disagree, we're not disagreeable. Mm-hmm. You could always have opposing opinions and be kind about it and be respectful. And I will say that's how I would characterize, all the human beings in this building.
Yeah, and that's like teachers and the students, I feel like.
That's right.
Yeah. But kind of looking at some of our students here, like, what's the way that, like, you've seen, like, our students grow, like, not just academically, but, like, as individuals just over this past school year?
Oh, boy. I mean, when I think of our student athletes, I feel like I hear so often they've beat their personal record, right? I'm always, hey, what's your PR? What's your PR? Oh, I'm a better thrower now, better wrestler, better football player, better gymnast, better cheerleader. I was able to do a routine, execute it better. So there's a commitment to genuine improvement by all of our students, all of our teachers, and all of our administrators, and I absolutely, value that everyone's committed to getting better every day. And I'm proud to say that many people are better than yesterday, Mason. Yeah,
and that's just kind of compounding, like, kind of year after year, Like, every year you're in a sport, you just get a little bit better in it.
That's right.
Yeah. But looking at our next question here, there have been so many accomplishments this year, across sports and academics. But what are some moments that really stood out for you over this past school year?
Oh, right in the fall season, right, our football team had a great season. We made the playoffs. We had so many conference championships, so many state qualifiers, right? We've so many state placers, academically, right? National merits finalists, Adobe certified professional certificates, FCCLA students making it to state, for that, the math team going to state for the first time was huge. I mean,
I think it was every person in the club too.
Every person in the club, and then so many other achievements, all the fundraisers, the way we honor our veterans, the blood drives, the fundraisers, the notes of acknowledgement. I mean, there's such a long list, that we can do a 2-hour segment
just
on RB's accomplishments, and what you're most proud of. But I'm proud of everyone's feat. I'm proud of everyone's accomplishments, and I'm proud to say that so many of us are present together, teachers and administrators and students and community members and board members. We're there for each other to celebrate our successes.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, just kind of talking a little bit about the culture here at RB, like, what role do you think student voices have in kind of shaping that culture here at RB?
I mean, we strive to include students in committees and lunch with the principals. We're very responsive to student emails. When the students, put a complaint, see something, say something, we're responsive to it. So, I mean, I think that makes special. And, we have 2 student board members. Remember, not every Board of Education has student advisors to the board. We're in the minority, so it's special that our Board of Education, invited our students to be part of the process. Again, not every Board of Education does that. And that makes, I'm proud of the leadership from our board president and everyone on the board and our superintendent, because that's very special. I mean, you have 2 students every year that have a seat in front of our Board of Education, and that board asks, what's the student experience? How are you doing? What should we revisit? What do we need to look at? I mean, there's genuine 2-way communication between our board, our students, our teachers, our students, right? I mean, I feel like we're always there, and we're open to getting better. I'm not saying things are perfect, and I would never say that, because if you're a lifelong learner and you believe in growing constantly, that means things should always be evolving, right?
Yeah, and they can never quite be perfect, but they're always like approaching perfection.
Correct. And one thing that I'm excited for, Mason, next year, we're going to have a student leadership committee that brings administrators, teachers, and students together to talk about important issues. So again, we're always trying to find ways to bring everyone together.
Yeah, and that's going to be like a new thing next year?
That would be
SA we have here?
Yes, that would be a new thing, because now we have, teachers, administrators, and students of grade levels, meeting together. Yes, that would be new.
Yeah, I understand. Just looking at our next one here, RB has like a strong sense of community. I'm sure you feel that, and I feel that, and just the community feels that. Actually, we just felt that with the videos you saw, right? Those, the one that you starred in, and they were promoting the district.
They're correct, yeah.
Yeah, I thought those, like helped support like our community and set the sense of it. But how have families and like local partnerships, you feel like, contribute to like this year's success?
Well, you know what? I'm proud of our family that's engaged. We have many people that come in person. Now that we have, now that we stream many events, we also have a great contingency of parents, watching events online. But I mean, people are here. The multicultural fair, I ordered 200 churros. They were gone in 15 minutes. There was 200 plus families here. I mean, any event you see, you always see a good group of parents, attending. I mean, you go to any of our games, they're there. The community cares about RB's success. You go to our board meetings, raise recognition. Parents and families are present, So our events are very well attended, very well supported, very well run. Thank you to the staff. I love seeing RBTV. Everywhere I'm at, you're there, and vice versa. We're always there together, along with our teachers, right? We have a great amount of teachers that live in district, and you see them walking their dogs, walking with their kids. So people not only invested here, people live in this community, which, make it special.
I couldn't agree more with that. Kind of like turning the focus a bit to our like seniors here. Like, how does RBHS like celebrate its seniors? And like, if you could talk about like a few like events that we have upcoming.
We have right. I mean, we have senior awards, the local scholarship breakfast. We do the senior sunrise. Big shout out to our PTO. They'll be doing this year, the day of commencement in the morning, a senior breakfast. So like kind of two breakfasts. The sunrise is kind of a breakfast, right? Coffee and donuts. Then we're gonna have the senior breakfast with the PTO, and there's another special surprise coming for the senior sunrise. I want it to be a surprise. I don't know if I want to share it now. Let's save it for the sunrise. Maybe we could do a special segment there.
All right, so you're saying at the sunrise.
At the sunrise, there's going to be a special gift for the seniors by one of our community partners, but I want to keep that element of surprise. So I mean, the seniors are the focus, of the last 3 weeks, right? Every event is almost senior focused, senior based, So, I mean, I think we're going to have a great, 3 weeks, right? We just finished proms at another kind of senior event. I mean, open too many, but really senior focused, and it was great. We had over 600 students attend. Incident free, Mason. We didn't have to use the situation room, which I'm really proud of, because there's always a situation, but this year the room was empty. It was staffed. But nothing happened, so I was really excited.
I heard a few students talking about it. It's like, oh, we broke the curse. Nothing bad went on,
You're right. A big shout out to the senior class. The situation room at prom was not used. Kudos to you all. Mason.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. If you could talk just a little bit more about those senior awards.
Gotcha.
And, like what does that entail? Like, are those
so academic-based awards for achievement, in math and the sciences and the humanities, AP recognition. There's a plethora of students that get recognized. I always say I feel like there's over 100 seniors that get recognized there. There's the local scholarship again, right, for seniors. So many seniors will receive, a scholarship from either the bank, the RBEF, some institution that's important to RB, will give a scholarship to the students. So, I mean, everything is senior focused, Mason, these last few weeks.
Yeah. Well, I guess we've kind of like reflected back now, just kind of looking forward to like next year. Like, what would you say like some of your goals and priorities are for like the next school year?
Coming up, Mason, I want to say cell phone usage is important. Cell phones could be a tool for learning, but it could also be a tool for distraction. So right now I'm working with my colleagues, my teachers, our union district office to revise our cell phone policy. I want to set a high bar. And I believe the students will meet that bar. Many student teachers use the cell phone pockets effectively. We're gonna explore that and restructure it because we want students focused on learning. You guys have the Chromebooks already. Students don't need a cell phone to be distracted. Use the Chromebook, okay? But I'm open, right? Hallways and cafeteria, when it's your free time, I'm okay with students using it when it's their free time.
Yeah.
But once you're in the classroom, pause up, phones up. We got to make that happen. So right now I'm currently working on the details for the following school year. Tardies, Mason, students need to be on time, to class, right? A minute may not seem much, but if you compound that over the year, that adds to hours.
Yeah.
A minute here, a minute there, you miss 4 or 5 hours of instruction. Guys, you can't miss that. We need students to be on time. And again, many students do a good job. So, I know you're graduating, Mason, but I need students, peers to support one another and encourage those positive behaviors. So those are 2 items that we're definitely revisiting. And of course, the great work we do with our teachers as well, common assessments, PLC structure, some of the things that we're working on.
And then for the tardies, is that just something you're cracking down on? Are you introducing something new for that also? Or?
Well, you know what? I mean, we've always had, right, our expectations and our consequences. But, we may be introducing new practices to kind of motivate students, to get there. I know some schools, have done hallway sweeps where teachers close the door at the bell, then the students are redirected and they're spoken to by administration. I'm exploring that right now, Mason. If done well, it could work. But ultimately, I know our Buddhas could be on time and avoid tardies. We just need to do it. Be on time, guys, And again, I'm going to lean on our student body to help with that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in today, Doc. That was some very thoughtful, dialogue there. And, I hope that, I think the students will changes around the school next year. And I hope that it continues to evolve for everyone.
I've always believed that our Bulldogs can achieve, and I don't see any initiative going any other way. If you say high standards, students will meet that standard. And I'm proud of our Bulldogs. I know they will meet whatever standard we set.
Well, thank you for joining me on the show this year, Freitas. This will be it.
You got to mention, you're going to be missed.
Yeah.
You did a great job as a manager here at RBTV. I'm proud that you're going to my alma mater.
Yep.
You have ILL?
I&N?
I&I. Let's do it again. ILL?
I&I.
Bam, you got it, man.
There we go. But seriously, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
You're going to be missed, bud.
Yeah, thank you. And then thank you all for tuning in to State of RB. For the last time, I've been Mace Mislinski, and this is Dr. Freitas.
Pause up.
Thanks for watching.